2012 meeting of the Intergovernmental.
Mr. Antali? Chairman Gamina?
Here.
Mr. Patterson? Here. Mr. Tucciarello? Here. Mr. Wilcox? Here.
Is there anyone signed up for the public forum?
No, sir.
Is there anyone present who is not signed up to speak who would like to address the committee at this time? Rule of minutes. You have the November 29, 2011 minutes before you, and they will stand approved unless the clerk is notified of any changes by the end of the day. The next item on the agenda is new business. Mr. Clerk.
Referral 12-0018.
Legislator Antelli. Is there any discussion on this item? Legislator Wilcox.
Thank you, Chairman. Through you, Mr. Chairman, could someone in the administration maybe explain what the rationale for this is? In other words, what gave rise to this transfer of property?
This came about because this property was formerly the Penfield Town Sewer Treatment Facility. It was decommissioned over 20 years facility, operating out of that location for a number of years. The last few years, however, they've abandoned operations there to house their vehicles and equipment. The town was looking to add this land as parkland, and since Abraham Lincoln surrounds this property, they felt that the best.
Thank you for that answer. I have a follow-up to that. Because forgive me, for the agreement like this is entered into, is there any kind of environmental review done to sort of mitigate any potential liability that the county may have?
Through Mr. Chairman, that's a great question. There was nothing on the property that would.
Through the chair. Again, I just want to follow up on that because I think you pretty much answered my question, but I want to make sure I didn't leave something out. An environmental review, could you sort of just give me just an overview of what type of assessment is done? You said nothing on the property. Is there any testing of the soil going down and anything like that?
This mic keeps cutting out. There was sampling done of the ground, and there was found to be no contamination of the ground. There was sampling done of some of the containment or concrete lined, that there could be some possible contaminants that were introduced after the decommissioning of the possibly paint, but it was found that it was totally with.
Are there any other questions? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Is there any unfinished business to come before the committee? There being no unfinished business, the January 25th, 2012 meeting of the Intergovernmental Relations Committee stands adjourned. Next